he said, well, how about summertime for a song? And I thought, except that it's the middle of October. I can work with that. Because that song just so beautifully expressed what we're going for with alignment. It's just, it painted a picture of what can be rather than what's wrong. So today is all about how we use the technique we call prayer, and I'm not liking that word anymore because it's an example of embedded theology. That means you have a word that seems innocent enough, but it has a whole set of suitcases that come with it. And those suitcases are about what you were taught when you were a kid about that word. And so prayer is one of those that we have ideas about that are no longer useful. They bring back shades of Janis Joplin. Can you hit it in a minute, Eric? Lord, won't you buy me? That one. I could have done it, but I knew he'd do it better. So that's the old idea of prayer. And really, it doesn't work reliably because we have to talk about another word that doesn't work, and that's God. There is no God that's out there granting favors, throwing lightning bolts, or just answering these prayers. That isn't a person. What we call God is a principle. It's a field. It's an energy. We struggle to get the words that will give us the concept, but it isn't a who. It isn't a who that we pray to. All right, now I'm going all Dr. Seuss on you. That's not. However, what prayer really is, it's a practice of alignment where we get ourselves out of the place that we're in through changing our consciousness. Does anybody else have a mind that sometimes keeps them up at night with all their ideas of either what they're going to do or what's wrong with the world or what's wrong with the situation or any? I don't see enough hands because I'm really thinking that almost all of us do this. And if we don't, it's only because we took really good drugs to sleep through the night. And then we're doing it all day long. Okay, it's the human tendency. It's the human tendency to think that we're in control, but we're not. And if we can shift how we think about things, then we can change our world. In Unity, we talk about 5 spiritual principles. The first one I talked about the last time I was speaking is God is all there is. That whatever that word is that we use, there's only one. It's the only isness. Nothing else. And if there's only one, then principle 2 is a logical follow-up. We're that. How could we be anything else? There's only one. So we're like the rainbow. There's one rainbow, but all these colors. So we're all these expressions of this one, but we're still coming from that rainbow. We're still that, with access to all that power. Everything that we can imagine, that is, we are that. But we don't always know it. More often, what we're doing is looking at our circumstances and then judging from our circumstances, we are deciding who we are and what is possible for us. So we open our wallet and it's like, I only got a couple dollars in there. I must be poor. Instead of looking at the all, where abundance is the nature of it, and saying, wait a minute, I am that. I must be rich. And allowing that to talk to my wallet instead of my wallet talking to that. But we all do that. It's human nature because we walk in this world of duality where this seems real. This situation, this mess, whatever it is, seems so real. And we don't know how to fix it, which doesn't stop us from trying, right? we definitely give it our best efforts. And usually only when we hit bottom with whatever those efforts are, do we finally realize, this is not working. I need a higher power here. In prayer, I really want today, I want to teach you about how to use this alignment practice. We talk a lot about it here. We have a team that will pray with you. But that doesn't mean I've got this problem, let me give it to you, and now you can take care of it for me. That's not what that means. We stand in alignment with you. We stand there to support you in knowing that you are strong. Sort of like Red Rover, you want a team and you're all joining hands, and the more you've got, the stronger your team is, right? So the team here is supporting you in knowing who you are and knowing what is truth. But each one of us is responsible to know that for ourselves. And because this is not what we grew up learning, it requires some practice and some education. And so I want to break that down for you a little bit today. So there are steps to it. The first step is, and I'm getting this from this book, Discover Your Divinity. I've talked about this before, and I actually ordered some copies. So if you're interested in buying them, you can get them here today. And if we run out, we can order more for you. But this book is a compilation. It was written by 2 Unity ministers, and it's a compilation of the way that Unity used to articulate prayer and the way Centers for Spiritual Living, or formerly Religious Science, articulated it. And they kind of mashed them together. So the first step is opening. And that means, so let's do this. You've got a green piece of paper in the seat back in front of you and a pen. And if you're sitting in the first row, you can get up and look at an empty chair behind you. Because I want you to work this with me. And there should be a pen. I know there's some here, you people in the front row. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to think about something that you would like to shift using your consciousness. So it could be a situation in the world, it could be a situation in your personal life, it could be something in your family, okay? So everybody think of one thing that you would like to walk out of here knowing you have changed this. If you feel poor, maybe you'd like to walk out of here knowing you're rich. If you don't have a home, you might want to walk out of here knowing that you have a home, whatever it is. Please participate in this. Don't just say, this is something for other people to do. I got this, I'll just listen. Don't do that. So the first step is opening. So we relax our bodies. We clear out, to the best of our ability, all the chatter in our mind. And we open to the possibility that we could see this situation differently. So I open to the possibility. I'll give you an example, something that was very powerful for me using this method. Two of my daughters don't speak to each other. And this has been going on for a few years. And it's something that, oh, trust me, I have tried to make a difference with, not successfully so far. And it's something that gives me a lot of pain. And so I used this method, and I just opened to the possibility that I could find harmony in this situation. Okay? The second step is I recognize. I recognize the divine is. And here, you think about what is a quality that you need. So in my situation, that example, love was the quality. I was looking for love between them, love and harmony. So again, whatever we call God, there's all these qualities that are part of that. And rather than just say, oh, all of that, help, we focus on the quality we want. So maybe it's a quality of strength. Maybe it's a quality of wholeness. Maybe it's a quality of abundance. Maybe it's wisdom. Whatever your situation is, think about what is it that is needed, that is divine. And you write that down. You say something like, I recognize there's only one power, only one presence in all this cosmos. Loving harmony, or abundance, or strength, whatever it is, write that down. Write that down to fill your situation. What is it that you are claiming? And then you go into an integration process where you acknowledge that you are that power. So in my case, I am the harmonizing power of love. I am that. It's not outside of me. It's within and all around me. It's who I am. So what is it for you? Who are you? Write it down. I am strength. I am wholeness. I am home. And then the next step is realization. I realize that I can. I realize that I know. I realize that I have. For me, I realized I can see my daughters as indivisibly love in perfect harmony. That's spiritual truth. How could they be anything else? They're born of love. They are love. They return to love. And love cannot be divided. When we think about our country and how divided our country appears to be, that's judging from appearance. Come back to spiritual truth. Every one of us is love. Love is the truth. We cannot be divided. We are indivisible. So write down, what is truth? What do you realize? And then the final step is appreciation. In many of our prayers in the past, thank you, God, was kind of the ending. But we're not praying to a God outside of us, so what's the thank you, God business? Instead, the appreciation is about appreciating my ability to shift my consciousness. So I appreciate my ability to shift from what my daughters do to who they are. That shift was huge for me. And it brought me peace. I've told you before that whenever I give a talk, it seems then I gotta do whatever it is that I'm talking about. So that I've got a real live example for you of how this works. So last night, in the middle of a wonderful sleep, I woke up. And that wouldn't have been a problem. I could have gone right back to sleep, except for my mind, which then took that opportunity to start worrying about politics and all the things that could go wrong in my mind, and all the reasons I had for what should be, and how could I persuade everybody and their dog about what the right way to think about this is. And I'm lining up arguments and thinking, well, would this work or would that work? And it's just like, stop it. I knew this was futile, but it wouldn't shut me up. And so finally, I had this great idea. What if I prayed? It wasn't the first thought, even though the talk was coming in less than 12 hours.
That's why we love you.
Yeah, but at least it was a thought, and it did come, which is why it's so valuable to be part of spiritual community and come on a regular basis, because these thoughts, at least they're in the neighborhood. And you might be able to whistle and find them when you need them. So as I'm lying there in bed, just being open to the possibility that I could see this differently, the thought occurred to me that I need a higher power here. My thoughts and all my ideas of how it should be are not working. They are not what the world needs. even if I got a global microphone where I could tell everybody how it should be, that wouldn't work. But when I tuned in to higher power, I began to feel it, like Rochelle was talking about. What does alignment feel like in your body? I could feel myself letting go. I could feel myself relaxing and opening up to another possibility. I could feel myself, and I started to claim the wisdom, the order, and the love that is in the all. And I claimed that for our country. I claimed that for myself. I am that. And as I did that, it shifted from whatever happens, I have no control over that. I don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen after whatever happens. I don't know any of that. But what I know is that love is everywhere. What I know is order is knit into every cell, the very fabric of reality. What I know is that even in worst case imaginations of Armageddon or whatnot, we are not this play that we are acting in. We are the light that shines always through all things. That's who we are. That's what is happening. Light is vibrating. And when I think that thought, I felt peace. I could return to sleep. I could have trust in life. It made such a difference. And that's what I want you to have. There's a beautiful song that Soulshine does. And I'd like to invite you, just as part of this talk, for you to listen to the song and sing along with it as you hold those green pieces of paper. And if you're online, I hope that you're writing something down. These intentions that you just wrote, this shift that you want it to make in your consciousness. Because that world that's out there, it appears one way to you, but your neighbor, it might look totally different to. Have you ever had that experience where somebody is seeing things very differently than you do? Like they're on a different planet, maybe? That's so common because it happens in our consciousness. And so the only place to change it is not out there, it's in our consciousness. Like trying to correct the mistakes in your document without using the computer. You have to go back to the source to correct it. So we have these beautiful intentions, these prayers that we have written, where we are shifting our consciousness from what appeared to be wrong to what is inherently right. And we're going to bless those with this song. Please join in. Breathe in. still and know I am. Let go and know I am. I am. Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know I So in knowing that, in knowing I am, all is right. You know, Rumi's beautiful poem, Out Beyond Right Doing and Wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that field, it's too beautiful. There's no words, no language, no ideas to talk about. This is the field of all being. We return to that field through practicing alignment. When you have the courage to get out of your head and move into your heart and through that doorway into the all, using spiritual principles to redesign the world that you see, a world where love is real and is the only reality, where strength is inherent, where home is who you are, the source from which you come, where abundance is in your cells, your sinews, it's everywhere. When you do that, you change your consciousness. And when we, as a community, do this together, we create such a powerful force. It's unstoppable. We create a tipping factor for the entire world. You are in service to our world when you come here and join together with others in knowing who you are and what is true, in practicing alignment. It's such important work. Coming home to being who we are. I would really love to teach a class on this, and I don't know if you're interested, So Kevin made a little, if you hit that with your phone, that QR code, you can answer 3 quick questions. Basically, what I want to know is, would you like to take a class on this? Because I don't know about you, but even I have read this entire book more than once, and this is sitting on top of 14 years of training and practice in unity prayer. And I still had to look at my crib sheet. So it's something that takes practice. I went through it with you all today because I know some of you will not be able to take a class, but I would love to teach a class where we get to practice. So my first question, if you don't do the phone thing and you're like, just give me a piece of paper and a pencil, you have that green sheet and you're going to turn it in when the offering comes by so that we can all hold your intentions in prayer. Just write on there, yes, I would like a class. Nah, I don't want a class. And if you want a class, when? So some people will only take a class if it's in the day, and other people will only take a class if it's in the night. It would be helpful for me to know that. And especially if it's in the night, I would prefer to do it on Zoom, just because my eyes are not so great at night for driving. I can do it, but it's harder. And it's also a little bit challenging with the space, like what night could we do it consistently? So Zoom makes it easier. And some of you are like, yes, Zoom, I can take the class in my pajamas. And some of you are, I did that in the pandemic, never doing it again. So I don't know. I don't know who wants what. So that's what I'm asking you. So either in the little QR code or on your paper, please tell me. And then I'll see if I can design something that works for as many people as I can. We're going to take this now out of our heads, totally into our hearts. Eric is going to play some beautiful music for us for meditation.